Hello, everybody. It's your pocket pastor here, or I'm sorry, your pilot pastor. The pilot pastor here. I had a problem getting up in the air today. We were going to fly. Alejandro and I were going to get up in the PA-28 Cherokee, Piper Cherokee today out of Port Arthur, but the weather did not cooperate. So I'm going to get a try in the virtual simulation helmet here, and as you can see, I've moved around. I want to show you some of the things that I've got going here, just as by means of introduction. So this is the basic setup I'm going to be using. You can see here, these are the virtual reality goggles. This is the MetaQuest 2, I believe. And then I have the Logitech flight yoke and throttle quadrant system with the corresponding SciTech / Logitech rudder pedals. I'm also this is just the microphone that I've been using so that you can hear me a little bit better. Here I have just a regular stand, and I'm bracing it against a table here in my living room. So this is the basic setup, and as you can see, I have it configured here to show you the actual game as I get into it. As you can see, I'm already logged on there. I'm not quite sure I'm logged on in the virtual reality goggles yet. So there are two different gaming systems here. One, the PC. Oops. Boy, I just broke something. I just broke my headset. Wow. I have this cute little hand strap thing that goes here that keeps my head on nice and straight, but I just broke that, so you got to see it first. Just tie this on tight though. I can still do pretty well in here. Telemarketers are blowing up my phone. Okay. First, I have to create a new boundary. And I do that first by setting the ground level and confirming that inside the game. You can't see this, but I am going to draw an outline of my room here, big enough that it will allow me to actually walk around my airplane. There we go. So now there are objects in here, but that's cool. I have water. I got things in these controllers in the wrong hand. Now I am launching the Oculus Rift, Oculink. I think it's called Oculus Link. Wow, I can't believe I broke this. All right. Be careful, guys, with your Oculus Rift. Supplemental headset, because you can break it. All right, so now I'm in the PC version of the Oculus Rift. Inside of here, it's a nice room that looks like it's overlooking the mountains or something like that. But what I want to do is go into the game here and switch to VR mode. Now, when I'm in the VR mode, I should be able to make this change, and you'll see a little more clearly what's going on inside of virtual reality. So this requires me to switch back and forth. There we go. So now, all right. Let me see what you guys see. Okay, yeah, you're seeing half of the screen. That means you can see pretty clearly what I'm looking at in front of me. And as I turn my head, you can see that I'm looking around this virtual construct that gives you access to the menu. So this is the menu. And because I was not able to fly out of Jack Brooks this morning, or this afternoon, I'm going to be flying out of Jack Brooks. This is Jack Brooks Airport in Port Arthur, as you can see. And this is the general neighborhood, what we call the Golden Triangle of Beaumont, Port Arthur down here in Orange, where I live. And so I would have driven down this road here along to the airport this morning, but I didn't get a chance to do that. So I probably would have been taking off. Let's take a closer look at the airport in the map. Let's make sure I'm clicking sometimes. All right. Come on. Oh, this guy's up and up here. That's what's stopping me. All right, so this is what the airport looks like from the sky. This is the terminal. Well, this is like a big tarmac right here, and I believe there are some commercial terminals here. That's the tower, and over here where the general aviation parking is. So I'm going to take off from right here. Parking spot. What parking spot is that? Number 2. Ramp parking number 2. I'm going to depart from there. And I am going to arrive back to that very same spot. So I'm just going to go to general aviation ramp parking 2. We're using live weather for today, which isn't really that bad right now, but it's very windy. We'll see what it looks like. This is the plane that we'll be flying, the Coronado. The Coronado PA-28 181 Archer 2, and we can start this flight now. As you can see, we have a startup window that we get to see. I think that's the icon. That plane never really kind of took off. That'd be a wonderful plane to have. It's foldable. The wings are foldable, and you can put it in your garage, and it's amphibious. The landing gear retracts. You could land on water, and that would be perfect down here in the Golden Triangle because there's so much water. Only problem is that beautiful little plane looks like a little sports car. It costs about $300,000, and they've had all kinds of problems with that company. So they don't want to get my money. Like I was going to be buying a $300,000 airplane. Okay, now looks like we have a little problem here with the menu up. First we got to clear these things. And I put my hands on the yoke, the steering wheel. Put my hands on the yoke here, and by pushing the B button on the left controller, I gently nudge myself to the place where it feels about right in the plane. I'm going to sit back in the seat. It looks like I'm sitting back in about the right place. I reach out and the controls are not too far ahead of me. I can also now adjust my physical seat and put my feet on the flight controls and make sure that I'm not touching too badly. Like I said, I'm kind of bumping with my knees here, but that's okay. Alright, so now that I'm in here, let's get our air traffic control ATC window open, and I like to put it right here where it's easy to get to while I'm flying these patterns. And then I can hit the controller button over here, get rid of that menu, and now we can configure the plane for flight. I like to start off by getting a little wind in here, little breeze, opening the door. Some ventilation. There we go. Sounds like the doors are open inside of this headset. Now, what I'll do is I'll turn on the battery switch. Things come alive. I see I have 2 half tanks of fuel. Check my annunciator panel. That looks good. Let's go outside and look at the plane. Flight controls are free and clear. Rudder pedals look good. Let's check the flaps. That's 3 levels down, 3 levels up. Let's walk around. I don't see anything hanging off of the airplane. Everything looks pretty good. It's kind of busy here at the airport today, but as you can see, the weather is pretty, well, that looked like lightning up here. So, it's rainy. That's how come we didn't go out today. But the rain clouds seem to be off in the distance, so we're going to take a shot at it, even with the wind. I believe if you look, you can see the windsock right there. That's a strong wind. All right, it looks like it's blowing almost right into runway 16. But we'll find out by turning on the alternator, the beacon lights, the fuel lights. Make sure our parking brake is set. We got the fuel selected to the left pump, left tank. Let's give it about a 1/2 inch of fuel, and then set the mixture to rich. We got the fuel pump on. Yeah. So let's crank this thing by turning the key. Clear! It's me telling them to clear the prop. There we go. Engine start successful. Excuse me. Okay. Let's listen to the weather.
Jefferson County Airport information, Oscar 17000. Wind 19er at 13. Visibility 10. Sky condition 2,500 feet scattered, ceiling 4,800 feet broken. Temperature 27. Dew point 10. Altimeter 29.86.
29.86.
Runway 12 in use. Landing and departing runway 16. VFR aircraft say direction of flight. All aircraft read back hold short instructions. Advise controller on initial contact you have Oscar.
Okay, we got Oscar. We're gonna go fly the pattern.
Jefferson County Ground Passenger 612 with Oscar, request taxi to the active touch and go.
Passenger 612 taxi to and hold short of runway 16 via taxiway.
Okay, so it's 199 at 13 miles an hour, which is almost
Taxi to and hold short runway 16 via taxiway, passenger 612.
almost in our face, but not quite. So we're gonna have a little bit of a crosswind. My engine is at about 1200 RPMs. I'm gonna release the parking brake here, this middle button. And I'm going to taxi on out to runway 16. Slow it down a little bit around these planes. Looks like I got plenty of room. To go around. Old Bubba here. Little patch of grass here. I'm going back over to this entrance to General Aviation Parking. I need clearance over on that side. Going into that wind is slowing the plane down real slow. We almost go directly into the wind, and the plane felt like it was coming to a stop. Nobody coming either way, so let's head towards. Give it some more gas. Follow this yellow line down here. Microsoft just upgraded its airport pack, so all the airports have fresh paint in the simulator. That's not true in real life, but it does look very realistic. I'm going to stop right here. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to hit my parking brake. Stop right here and do my run up and my ground check. Alright, so I am going to park the brake set, throttle up to about 2,000 RPM. Stop right on the nose. 2,000 RPM. I'm at 2,000 RPMs. Magneto 2. See my RPMs drop. Magnetos Very good. All the switches are on, the radio's on, all my gauges are green, all the instruments look good, my flaps are set, the trim is set, the door is closed and latched. I think I'm ready to drop it down in the idle. Oh yeah, then turn the fuel pump off. Fuel pump off. Still reading in the green. Back up to 1200. Put that fuel pump back on for takeoff. Along with everything else, even the pitot heat, just for the heck of it. Make sure everything looks clear. And move into position for takeoff. Hold short, runway 16 with my instructions.
Jefferson County Tower, Passenger 612 ready at runway 16, touch and go.
Passenger 612, altimeter 29.86, wind 19er at 1 tree. Left touch and go approved. Cleared for takeoff runway 16.
Cleared for takeoff runway 16, Passenger 612.
Cleared for takeoff on runway 16. That's me, Pastor 612. That's your pilot, Pastor. Getting ready to take off on the day that flight lessons were canceled. Lined up on 16, real nice. Full throttle. Working little left rudder. Keep myself lined up. Airspeed is active. 70, 80. Wow. I did something wrong. Let's restart this flight. Well, when Luna's mad, there's obviously something wrong. I have no idea what went wrong that time. So this time I'm gonna shortcut. Go to ready for takeoff. Flaps in, I might take off. Let's see what I did wrong. Luna, please.
Jefferson County ground, Passenger 612 ready to taxi, touch and go with Oscar.
Passenger 612 taxi to a hold short of runway 16 via taxiway. Contact tower on 119.5 when ready.
Taxiing hold short runway 16 via taxiway, Passenger 612.
All right. That was disturbing. I think there's a lot of wind coming in under my wing. And as I was trying to keep the plane level, I think I may have tipped, scraped the
Jefferson
runway
County
with
Tower,
my
Pastor
wing
612 ready and
tail.
runway 16 touch and go.
Pastor 612, altimeter 29.86, wind 19er at 1 tree. Left touch and go approved. Cleared for takeoff, runway 16.
Cleared for takeoff, runway 16, Pastor
That's
612.
my clearance for takeoff. Let's not be so cocky this time. Lined up. Full throttle. Airspeed active. 70. 80. Pulling up. And you see I'm almost sideways. What I was trying to do is fly it before I got off the ground. I'm going to climb out at 80. Alejandro says stay on your 80. That's where all the magic happens. So I'm on my 80 at 400 feet. It's 500 feet and I'm starting my bank.
Jefferson County Tower, Pastor 612, 600 feet to land.
Pastor 612, Jefferson County Tower. Altimeter 29.86, wind 19er at 1 tree. Fly left traffic, runway 12.
Fly left traffic, runway 12, Pastor 612.
Left traffic runway 12. I left off on 16. I'm flying 12. That's cool.
Jefferson County Tower, generic November tree 25 Juliet Foxtrot, ready for IFR departure, runway 12. Generic November tree 25 Juliet Foxtrot, altimeter 29.86, wind 19er at 1 tree.
Right along
Cleared
my
for
way.
takeoff, runway 12.
So that's runway 12. That us.
Cleared for takeoff, runway 12, generic November tree 25 Juliet Foxtrot.
Putting my throttle way out. Raise my nose and get back to my 80. Man, I got a lot of altitude. I'm gonna have to drop. So I'm bringing a lot of throttle out. We start working on dropping that altitude right about now. So I got a nice descent going there, 80. Because I let myself get up kind of high. Ooh,
Passenger 612, wind 199er at 1 tree. Cleared to land runway 12. Generic 5 Juliet Foxtrot, contact Houston departure on 121 decimal tree. Good day.
Cleared to land runway 12, passenger 612.
now I gotta land. I can't do a touch and go.
121 decimal tree, generic 5 Juliet Foxtrot.
I forgot to ask for the touch and go before I got my clearance. So it was going to land and taxi. Okay, so those two blinking lights, that's 16. And there's a little strip of grass over there at the end of 12. I'm flying my 30-12. I am right at, got a nice little descent going, but I can give myself a little throttle and arrest that descent a little bit. I should usually probably come in on the other side of this pond between these two little neighborhood lakes here. That's a nice little landmark for this airport. You see those two blinking lights at the end of that runway. That's runway 16. I don't want 16, I want 12. And 12 is got some lead-in lights. But I can use my throttle to keep this nice 500 foot, 400 foot minute descent at 80 knots and continue to use my throttle and pitch to kind of keep that descent going. Bring a little throttle out. You see those lines leading in, those lights leading in? That's leading into 12. And like I said, this is a nice little descent coming on in. I might be a little bit low, but I can always give myself some more throttle. Going a little slow now. Give myself a little bit more throttle. Now I'm at 80, just past 80. That's cool because I'm going to bleed off some of that momentum with this turn. I have no flaps, as you can see. Right at 80 knots. It is a vicious 13-mile-an-hour crosswind, and it's got me crabbing like it's nobody's business. I'm a little hot right now, so I'm bringing the throttle out. Just doing it the wrong way just now. Now I got my throttle back to where I want it, and I'm coming right down the middle. Now, as soon as the tip of my nose gets over this threshold, I am bringing all of that throttle back. I'm going to let it come down. I'm going to use a little rudder to line myself up. Ooh, and I bounced it. It's okay. Whoa.
Passenger 612, contact ground on 124.85.
Going to 124.85, passenger 612.
All that wind. Offset it a little bit. So, taking this next taxiway off. Contact ground. Going to take off and stay in the pattern again.
Jefferson County ground Pastor 612 ready to taxi touch and go with Oscar.
Pastor 612 taxi to and hold short of runway 16 using taxiway Bravo Delta. Contact tower on 119.5 when ready.
Taxiing hold short runway 16 using taxiway Bravo Delta Pastor 612.
Taxi and hold short runway 16. And contact tower. Well, now I know why we canceled today, because this is pretty treacherous out there. Did you see how much crab I had to perform in order to get lined up? And then once you get on the runway, you have to keep flying the plane because the wing wants to fly up on you. So that wind is getting underneath my wing, and I'm not really sure what to do. I think you're supposed to cut your yoke into the wing, into the wind, and but that didn't feel like what was straightening me out. So I'm gonna try to observe that a little bit more on the takeoff. This heavy wind underneath my wing. You even have to deal with it when you're taking off. So if I'm observant, I may be able to figure out what to do when I land. All things you can do in the simulator. Look at that windsock. You see how hard that wind is blowing? Here we are at 16 again. It's another reason why I like to fly at my own airport, so I get to know the layout a little bit better.
Jefferson County Tower Pastor 612 ready at runway 16 departing straight out.
Pastor 612 altimeter 29.85 wind 19er at 14. Departing
14.
straight out approved. Cleared for takeoff runway 16.
Cleared for takeoff runway 16 Pastor 612.
Nobody coming either way. Let's line ourselves up. All the switches look good. Left rudder. Park and brake. You see how that right wing is lifting up on me? Pulling up. That makes sense because that's the direction the wind is coming from. Get to that 80. There we go. It's 400 feet. Just a hair above 80. 500 feet, making my turn.
Jefferson County Tower Pastor 612 600 feet to land.
Pastor
traffic runway 12 passenger
Going a little
612.
bit more past 16 on my 3 o'clock to 12 on my 3 o'clock. I'm still at 80, but it's time for me to bring it on down because I'm over 1,000 feet. My runway. That's my runway behind me, 12. But every time I look back, I pull back on the stick. And I need to bring some more of the speed up as I turn onto my downwind leg. So I'm going to use my turning momentum in a little upper pitch to bring it back to my 80.
Jefferson County Tower,
Almost
Skywest
downwind
4960 miles northwest inbound ILS runway 12 approach. Skywest 4960 Jefferson County Tower. Altimeter 29.85 wind 19er at 14. Cleared ILS runway 12 approach.
So there's the airport. That's the end of runway 12. Those are those two little lakes.
Cleared ILS runway 12 approach. Skywest 4960.
Just a little below 80, and I should
Passenger
change that.
612 wind 19er at 14. Cleared to land runway 12.
Damn it! I didn't get my touch and go.
Cleared to
order
land
again.
runway 12 passenger 612.
Guess I'm clear to land now. Bring some of this throttle out, nose up, and get on that 80 again. There we go. Like I said, I want a little more room this time. So, turning a little bit further out. But I got my nice little descent going at 80 knots. Little less throttle. That's my perpendicular. I'm on my base leg now. Let's see. There's the 16. Nobody coming. Get a little slow, so bring my nose down. See, it didn't seem like it's going very fast at all. Go up a little bit. There we go. Back on the 80. I see my runway lights for 12. Got a nice little descent going. And I can control all of that with my pitch. So it's kind of mostly what I'm doing right now. Got my hand on the throttle just in case, but right now I'm playing a little pitch. So I got decent altitude. It's time to give it a little gas though. I'm losing some momentum.
Skywest 4960, follow the aircraft on final. Wind 19er Cleared to land runway 12.
Almost passed it up.
Cleared to land runway 12 SkyWest 49er60.
There we go. Back on that steep 14-mile-an-hour crab. Almost to the threshold. Let my throttle out. I'm just going to glide down here and straighten that a little bit.
Passenger 612, turn next taxiway. Passenger 612, contact ground on 124.85.
124.85 for passenger 612.
Well, they weren't touch and goes, but at least I landed.
Jefferson
Go back
County
to
ground
parking.
passenger 612 request taxi to parking.
Passenger 612, taxi to general aviation parking via taxiway Charlie Delta.
Yes, sir.
Taxiing to general aviation parking using taxiway Charlie Delta passenger 612.
Here we go. Yeah, it's a good idea not to fly today. Thanks, Alejandro, because that's kind of hairy. I don't like that wind coming up underneath my wing like that on landing. It's kind of hard to keep her nice and steady after she lands if the wind is always pushing your wing up. You have to cut your yoke into the wind to kind of fly it while it's on the ground, but it's kind of hard to gauge here in the simulator. You need some really good peripheral vision and a sense of feeling for the momentum. But if you can't feel the momentum of the plane going sideways, it's kind of hard to know to instantly react. I think you would instantly react in real life. There are people in the way out here, dude. Okay, I need to park over there. Turn the engine off. And this shall end it. There you go. That was just 14 minutes. I had planned to do 30 in the air, but then again, I did kind of mess up that first time, didn't I? 2 landings, 2 takeoffs, not bad. That'll give you the touch and go stats on here, but I guess coming to a complete landing and taking off again is what you got to do to get multiple landings on one day on this last screen. That's 324 hours in the airplane. And that is that. That was that. Tell me what you thought. That first little bit was a little hairy. I don't know what I did wrong on that first takeoff, but I was able to keep my at 80 and make a couple of circuits and put her on the ground and not run off of the runway too badly after I put her on the ground. So it was a terrible day to fly. That's how come I didn't go flying today. But it was fun to be able to do it in real life anyway. And I did it. Talk to you later. But the pilot passed her.